I think getting a quarterback who can win and get you to respectability is probably the quickest way to make Myles Garrett see, okay, this might be something that happens. I'm going to go back to Kirk Cousins now. I'm not saying to trade for Kirk Cousins. Cousins is 83-74 as a starting quarterback. He's thrown 288 touchdowns, 126 picks in his 13-year career. Last year he got off to a great first half and then went off the cliff in the second half of the season. He recently talked about his health last year. Remember, he's coming off an Achilles injury, but it's something other than that in the second half of the year that affected him. Here's Kirk Cousins from Good Morning Football Overtime.
I think the Achilles healed well. I think there was a little bit of just trying to get my right ankle back around the Achilles, but the Achilles itself healed really well. And even then, we were 6-3, was playing well, doing a lot of good things, even if the right ankle wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect in this league. We're never feeling 100%. So it didn't really affect me too much. But then against the Saints, got hit pretty good in my right shoulder and elbow. And from there, kind of dealing with that, was something I was working through and just never really could get it to where I wanted it. And so now that the season's over, you have the time and the energy to say, okay, let's get the right ankle back. Let's get the shoulder back. Let's get the elbow back. And if we can do that, feel like I got a new life ahead of me here in pro football.
Again, it explains the dive in the second half. And he wasn't willing to admit that. Even that we had a couple Falcons beat reporters on. He wouldn't admit that to the Falcons beat reporters. So that's not uncommon for quarterbacks. Nobody wants to admit they're hurt because defenders are going to start hitting you there then more.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Kirk Cousins could be a nice option for the Browns. I mean, there's going to be plenty of options for the Browns going forward. He could be a nice bridge quarterback that we've talked about if that's the direction that they want to go. Obviously, with the number 2 pick in the draft, that doesn't come by very often, and that would give you a chance to maybe bring in the young, touted franchise quarterback that you're going to want to develop. But Kirk Cousins has a relationship with Kevin Stefanski. They know each other well. Like I still believe that Stefanski and this coaching staff can take any quarterback and make him a winner. I mean, look, they got great production out of Joe Flacco. They got great production out of Jameis Winston. Go right on down the line. They've done a good job with quarterbacks. It's just a matter of figuring out what this team needs right now. And if that's the bridge quarterback and a Kirk Cousins, a Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. I mean, and there's also the possibility now with this Garrett situation and that you might be able to get your franchise quarterback through a trade for Myles Garrett. Wouldn't that be something? So I think there's plenty of options. I like Cousins. I've always liked Cousins. The way he carries himself, the way he plays. He's been a very productive quarterback in this league for a long time. Derek Carr's another guy you could throw into that list of guys that are, potentially these type of bridge guys that can get the Browns at least through 2025 and maybe another year beyond.